Hello guys, this tutorial is about exporting model from Maya to game engine like Unity and Unreal Engine. Okay, now let's start with Unity because that's most of us are using. So let's go to the render show and show none, and then show polygons, and then grab everything, and that way you can easily select all the polygons, and then go to File. Send to Unity, and then go set Unity project. And the Unity project, if you have your Unity project open, just right click on the asset and then show the show in Explorer, and then you want to copy this directory and then go back to Maya and paste it in and then select. Okay, then you want to go there again, but this time selection. Okay, send to Unity and then selection. Now here you want to give your file a name, so my room maybe. And then in the geometry you want to check smoothing group. I think triangulate. I think Unity will triangulate it anyways, so leave that alone maybe. And then export selection. That will export everything. And then back in Unity, it will actually automatically loading it. That's one of the beautiful things about Unity is it will actually recognize if you put new things inside of it. So this is my room. Okay, you want to select it and go to the inspector, and then you want to check generate colliders. What that does, it will give every little element inside of it a mesh collider, which is good enough for now. Okay. And then the other thing is the generate LAD map UVs. That will make the LAD map, give the LAD map a more reasonable UV tiles. And then just apply, and that will actually giving you the correct collision and a proper LAD map UV. But it does take some time though, so you need to be super patient. It's really gonna take some time, especially when you have a lot of stuff. Of course, if you just have one little geometry, maybe it's gonna take no time, maybe just instantly. But I have 400 something amount of geometries, so that's gonna take a little while to calculate. Okay, when that is done, you can drag it into the scene. Okay, one of the little problem though is that the wall and ceilings doesn't actually cast shadow. You can click on the wall and then go to the cast shadows and change that from on to two-sided. That will actually make it two-sided. I did some more research, of course, and I think it's not possible in Unity 4, and Unity 5 actually have that already. So you can just check that instead of giving the geometry thickness. But I also still recommend you to actually give it thickness, because that way when you're baking it, there is a little chance to have weird effects like that happening on the model. Okay, just in case. But just so you know that you can do that now with just one thin layer of geometry. Can make it cast shadow by doing that. Again, select the model and go to cast shadows and then two-sided. Maybe it's a new thing, I'm not sure. It's actually impossible before. Okay, after that you want to have a player to play it, right? Because if you play now, you're just stuck in here. Okay, so you want to go to assets and then import packages, characters, import them out. And then you go to standard assets and then characters and then third person or first person, it's your choice. And then go to prefabs and drag the first person controller into the scene, and then you can start playing it right now. And everything is set. So this is how you set up stuff in Unity. Okay, very simple and straightforward. All right. So let's move on to a more complicated game engine, which is Unreal Engine here. Okay. To open this, you want to search for Epic Games. Okay, just search for Epic Games, and then you can choose Epic Games Launcher. Okay, and then go to Unreal Engine tab and then launch Unreal Engine. Okay, I have one here already, but let's go to the new project and then go to blueprints and then use first person. The difference between blueprint and C++ is that all the templates here are created using pure blueprint here underneath blueprint tab. If you use C++, everything here, the player character, game mode, everything are created using C++. But that doesn't mean you cannot do C++ in Blueprint project. It only means that those presets, templates are created using Blueprint, but those two projects have no different originally. So they're interchangeable. You can literally change the Blueprint object, everything inside of Blueprint into C++. Okay, but for now, let's just do Blueprint and use first person, and then you want to do my room testing, and then create project. The reason we choose Blueprint is it's actually much easier than C++. Performance-wise, it's almost the same if you're only doing game logic. Only heavy lifted, low-level programming is actually makes a difference between C++ and Blueprint. Blueprint has great potential to be more versatile and easy to use, intuitive, better for artists. It's like the dream before actually to me. But anyway, so it will give you a template level. If you play it, you have everything here already. A man holding a gun can shoot bullets out. Alright. One of the things is if you don't like the gun, okay, just select it and Control B. Okay, that will bring you to the player character. Double click on it, and then the components, there will be underneath the viewport. You can go select again. You can delete it. Okay, compile, and there will be some problem, which is underneath the, I think it's underneath the attached component here, which don't really need, I guess. So let's delete it and that and compile it again. More problem here. Don't worry, just select that node and then delete it again. Compile. Okay. Now if you play, you will not have again. Oh, still have the body though. So you can do any changes you wanted to. Let's see, the mesh will be this one. Okay. Maybe let's just hit it by going to the visible and now check it, compile. Okay, now play it. You will not have the gun and stuff. Anyway, something not really needed. All right, but if you really want to have it looks clean, then that's a way to do that. Okay, that's the way to do that. Anyway, let's also start with file new level. And then just start with the default level, save selected, and then grab the new level's ground, which is not needed either, and then delete it. So now we start with something really clean. You do have a sky and the sun, which is nice. And then let's go back to the, I can click that button to open up the hierarchy of the content. Right click on the content and then go show in Explorer. Then click on my room testing and then copy this directory, because we're doing the same thing in Maya, which is go file, send to Unreal, and then set Unreal project. Okay, and then paste in the project directory, and then select, and then again file, send to Unreal selection. Let's call this my room, and then export selection. That will export everything again into one single file called my room. Go back to Unreal Engine and then go File, Import. Notice that it's not going to be automatically loaded. So everything here is a little bit more complicated, and also gives you more control though. So go to File and then Import into Level, and then you want to go to the root of the project. There is a import folder, and then select my room, open. And it will ask you where to put it. You can just go select the geometry and then right click, give it a new folder, and let's call this my room geo asset or something. It's not only the geometry being imported. Let's press OK, and then that will bring you to this. It will ask you a few questions about how do you want to import them. But for now, I think let's just use the default setting and then import. Okay, that will import everything. You see I have 476 geometry and other things like materials inside of it, so it's gonna take a little while to import those things too. So let's just be patient. This process looks slower than Unity, but they're actually similar speed because in the default settings here it will also have generate UV, LED map UVs, and all sorts of stuff. So it will do a lot of calculations too. Anyway, when it's finished, it will actually open the settings or the blueprint of this entire room. You can close this window and you see the room is now inside of the scene. Now it does have the same problem, which is the wall doesn't actually cast shadows. You can grab the wall by double click on it. That will only select the wall here, and then you want to go to the cast shadow, and then there's one called the shadow to set it. Okay, check that out. That will make it cast two set it shadows. The lighting will be this light source, which is a directional light. Okay, you can rotate it to whatever way you want. Okay. Another thing is you can go to the lights and then drag in a skylight. The skylight is mimicking the environment lighting, okay, like a dome light or something. What it does is sampling all the surrounding areas, sample their lighting information, and then use that to illuminate every object inside of the scene. Okay. So for now, that's what I need you to do lighting wise. You see those are previews on it because they're actually not real baked lighting. The actual stuff we dragged in is this thing called FVX in my room. It's actually a blueprint here. A blueprint is like a prefab in Unity. What it can do is it's more like a collection of different components. In this case, all we have here instead of this blueprint is our geometries. Okay, you can look at the details, you see everything here, right? It's exactly the same hierarchy we have in Maya. But anyway. Let's save everything. or you can just save out here. All right. Also, the level is saved. You can see very similar things. If you're familiar with Unity, you see that things can be static. Okay, but here we have it to be static already on. You can select it and change that to movable. That way everything will be changed to movable, and meaning they will be calculated in real time. Okay. Now if you go play the game, let's see, right click there maybe and play from here. I see I'm standing here, right? But the collision is already there, but it's not as simple as Unity gives you, which is a complex collision. What it does is actually creating a simpler bounding box for everything here, meaning if you have the player start right here and just play directly from here, we're gonna be pushed out from the model because the entire model, the entire inside is just solid geometry. So you can either standing on it or go beneath it. The middle are all collisions. Okay. So to change that though, what you want to do is go to the My Room Asset folder and then change the view option from tiles to columns, and then click on the tab that will organize everything in based on their tab. You can go select the first static mesh, go all the way down, and select the last static mesh and right click on them and go to the asset action, and then there is something called, sorry, the last one here, it's really hard to see. Let me drag it even higher. Asset actions and then bulk added VA property matrix. That will bring everything up. Let's grab the first one and go all the way down, and then holding down shift and grab the last one. That will select everything here, and you want to search for the attribute of collision. You want to change the collision complicity here from default to use complex collision as simple collision. Okay, and then go close that and save out. Okay, that will actually use their geometry as collider. That way everything is collided using their own geometry. So it's gonna be more complex. See, now if you right click and play from here, you can see now you can go inside of the room. Okay, you have to change that, otherwise you're only colliding with bounding blocks of every object. Okay, so it's a little bit more complicated. Gives you more control though, but just complicated. Okay, so that's how you import into Unreal Engine now. If you don't really like the previews, what you can do, which is be more like a graphical thing you have to do, but you can go build and build light only. That will build the lighting. Okay, and it's gonna take a little while to build the lighting. Actually, it doesn't take that much. It's done already. And then oh, because I have selected object here, and I actually changed it to movable instead of yeah, I changed that to movable. That way it actually will not be calculated. Baked, it's calculated real time. Okay, so it's all real-time calculation here, but it looks nice even it's real-time. So yeah, you will see some troubles like that. Those are baking issues, and also that's because you have only one thin layer of geometry for the wall. Even it does cast shadows, you need very high resolution to make it more without that detail. You need to crank up settings to get rid of that. But I really encourage you, no matter if it's Unity or Unreal Engine, although they can cast shadows using one thin layer of geometry, it's just not gonna give you it's just gonna give you this weird artifact though. So you want to actually give your object thickness. But for now, that's what I only need you to do in the engines. Just bring your model in and make sure you can work around. Oh, that little cross here in the middle. Okay, that's also something you want to maybe get rid of. I think it's underneath blueprints, open level blueprints. No, it's not there. Maybe it's still on the player character, which if you go find out the player start, which we don't have one, so you can drag in a player start, which is search for that. Okay, drag in a player start. That's gonna be where the player starts. Okay. If you don't do that, it's gonna be in the center of the model, or you can right click and play from there if you wanted to. Anyway, so to find the player character is gonna be underneath first person BP and first person blueprint. I think first person character. Okay. Spawn projectile jump. No, it's not in here. I guess maybe it's inside of the HUD. Yeah, that's the hard. That's the HUD, right? Don't draw with VR. So the HUD is doing that. The HUD is actually pulling in this the little aim cross there. Maybe you can just go delete those. Okay, compile, and that way when you play, you will not see that weird cross over there. You can still shoot out little balls. If you don't want to shoot out the little balls, you can also go to the first person. It does give you more functionality to start with, but I think the shooting will be the input action fire. Just holding them out and click on the press, that will break up the connection. That way when you now play it and you left click, it will not fire anything anymore. Okay, but those are just programming details. Okay, so that's it. That's how you're putting things into game engine, and I hope you guys have learned something today. And the purpose for you to do this is testing if your level is workable. Okay, so don't bother too much on the graphical part yet. Alright, that's for today, and then see you guys next time.